April Fool's is tomorrow. The observance happening every year on the first day of April. Today, we know it as a day to pull practical jokes on your coworkers or your loved ones. But where does the tradition actually come from?
That's a great question. I had the chance to catch up with celebrity historian Rafi Andonian about that very thing. Check out what he had to say about the history behind April Fool's Day.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. If you're looking for Jason Sewell, he's not here. My name is Sason Jewell.
No, of course, April Fool's Day is upon us. Rafi Andonian, right. Celebrity historian, joining us to give us a little bit of history of the observation of April Fools. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely, of course. It's fun. Whoever I'm with, I'm not sure if I'm a Jason or that guy.
Yeah, that guy, who knows who that guy is? What are the origins of this this celebration that we all prank each other every year?
It's been there for centuries. There isn't necessarily a first April Fool's, but there's a few different stories, one of which comes from ancient Rome. There's hilarious, right? I studied Latin in college. And part of what they would do for hilarious is actually wear disguises and prank each other. So this has a lot of history. Going back to ancient Rome, you have history. Look at that. It even fell apart on me, right?
Yeah, just like a good prank.
Exactly. That thing itself is a prank. But you have other
end.
roots. You have, for example, in the 1580s, France changes the calendar over, and the New Year changes from basically April 1st to January 1st. Some people don't know, so they're known as April Fools because they're fools about the dates. You have origins in Great Britain. Also, in the 18th century, they actually held a 2-day event doing all kinds of pranks on each other. They couldn't get enough. One day was not enough. And that was done at the end of March, so around the same time. So there's different cultures practicing in different ways in different eras around that same time. So we just carry that tradition over.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I know you have some history on maybe a historically great April Fool's
There's
prank.
lots of examples, but you know the one that comes to mind that I love, that's really funny, is in 1905. So a little more than 100 years ago, you had the robber barons, right? You're talking about, you know, Rockefeller, Carnegie, those guys, and there's a story in a German newspaper that runs about the robber barons supposedly having stolen all the gold and silver from the U.S. Treasury. Supposedly across the Potomac River, which is in D.C., they had set up a factory because all these guys were, you know, in the industry, so it kind of made sense.
Sure.
And there was an underground tunnel across the river, or underneath the river. They had unloaded $250 million worth of gold and silver, stolen it in submarines, going down the river, out into the sea, and it fit this image of the America run by sort of an Old West mentality of these outlaw millionaires.
Right, sure.
And so it spread throughout Europe. It actually caught on until so multiple newspapers start covering it. One even had an illustration, supposedly, of the tunnel that went under the river. It was all fake. It was all a joke until the joke came out in the United States. And now, you know, it just turned out to be a great big prank. The robber barons didn't steal that, but it made sense in the narratives that people had in their minds, so the joke made sense.
That's such an epic tale and a story of, even in that time, of how news travels fast, and we're making it you know, transatlantically. People are picking up that news story. That's fascinating.
Right. That's right.
Do you have maybe a story that's closer to 2023?
That we would remember, maybe?
Yeah.
So Taco Bell. Everyone knows Taco Bell. Well, let's take a historical example. How about the Liberty Bell? So there was a joke in 1996 that Taco Bell put out that they bought the Liberty Bell, and it was going to be known as the Taco Liberty Bell. And this story got out, but eventually, of course, it was known as a prank. But that's a good example of mixing history, a historical thing, a Liberty Bell. Everyone knows about it. Because remember the commercials? They would ring that bell, ding, right? So it makes sense, exactly, to connect the Liberty Bell to the Taco Liberty Bell. So just another funny story more recently.
What about what do you have here?
Well, this thing, the Pops, of course, you know. Oh, my gosh.
It's a snake, real live snake.
You can really scare someone with that if you walk into the room and just pop it open.
No, I know. Thanks for inspiring me and getting
I can't get this thing back in, though.
That's never going to happen. I know we're going to keep having fun with all the prank props that Rafi bought for us today. Thank you so much for being here, Rafi.
Of course.
We appreciate it.
Have a great April Fool's.
Have a great April Fool's, everybody.